Okay, back at Kearney County the next morning. Just going to get the aircraft out of the hangar. Rochelle's bringing up the best tug, and we're going to crack open the T-hangar doors and reveal the aircraft, drag it around, get some fuel, and then I'll be ready to head down to Winslow, pick up some fuel, and then into San Diego. About 5 hours of flying today. About 3 hours on the first one and a couple of hours on the second one. Okay, so just dragging the aircraft around saves firing up. So dragging it around to the fuel bay, pick up a bit of fuel, and then check the aircraft and get going. Okay, about to depart 36k to head over to Winslow in Arizona. I think it's Arizona anyway, to go and pick up some fuel before heading down into Montgomery Field. So I'm just getting the aircraft sorted now. And well, sat in the aircraft, we've got fuel and ready to go. So I'm going to power it up, get myself going, and speak to you on the way. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is just run through the initialization. I haven't started the engine yet, but I'm just going to run through the initialization anyway. I'm going to come down here into the little symbol, send my flight plan, which is up here, to the panel. And so that comes over as a connect warning or advisory. There's the connect, so I'm going to tap on there where it's already highlighted. There's 36K to KINW. I can have a look down here to see if everything's good. All the way, perfect. And then activate the flight plan and go home into initialization. Check my databases, they're all good, and it says database is ready. Next on here, can acknowledge all of the limitations, passenger brief, type of pilot you are, and then once you're all done, you just go next. Tours is done already, just going to do an ADSB check. The pitot heat has already been done, and also I checked that as I walked around as well. It warms itself up for a little bit.
System test passed.
Okay, so that's good. Fuel on board sink, it should sink up to 92 gallons, so that's good, 92 on there. Next, aircraft weight, so there's me and some baggage in the back, probably got about 40 actually in the back of the aircraft, and maybe in the passenger as well. I've probably got 20 pounds of bags in the back as well, so that's looking good. Go next, here's my routing, happy that I've looked through there, and here I can see that Kearney runway, so I'm going to go out on runway 14. Here it's saying that that's the best one for the headwind, and then here I've got a little star on runway, so I'm going to click on there. Runway required, that's up on there, 2,226, and I've got 3,410 available, so 2226, enter. That's all good. Initialization, everything is ticked green, that's good. Got my own profile, accept, and then I can go through, start up the engine and get myself going. Okay, so I've entered backtracking the runway. It's pretty narrow, this runway. Just got the chevrons there saying that I'm going the wrong direction. Everything's set up. Yeah, quite a narrow runway. A little bit of a crosswind coming from the right, but it shouldn't be too much of a drama. It's about 5 or 6 knots coming from the right. One of the things we've got to be careful of here is there's quite a lot of vultures and birds around. Some very big bugs as well, clean the windscreen, but everyone's looking good now. So I'll go down the end, turn around and depart and head off southwestbound actually, and I'll speak to Kansas City and get my IFR clearance.
Enter Hotel 13, number 8 Hotel Whiskey, roger. Cleared to India November Whiskey Airport as filed, maintain 12000.
Cleared India November Whiskey, as filed, climb 12000, November 8 Hotel Whiskey. Good. On our way, 12,000's in there, 12000, climbing en route as filed, heading to draw first of all. Got the aircraft up on a nice bit of power. Fuel flows in the green. Got myself a nice bit of power, but I'm climbing at 130 knots instead of 120 knots, just to make sure I keep those CHTs down just like yesterday. It's pretty, even though it's first thing in the morning, it's pretty warm outside.
Third 907 Echo Sierra, roger. IFR cancellation received. Squawk maintain VFR. Appreciate it, group.
7 Echo Sierra, we'll go. Yep.
Some of the cattle farms. Massive amount of farming around here. It's pretty impressive.
Five Delta 837, good day.
Yeah.
About an hour into the flight now, between Kearney County, Kansas to Winslow in Arizona, and the landscape now is starting to change from the flatlands and a lot of the farms to the ground rising and mountains starting to come up. You'll see here that currently at 12,000 feet, but our gaggle is giving us 6,900, so the terrain starting to climb
133,
around us a little bit more.
Yeah.
Heading up towards Santa Fe and go around the corner,
51, contact upgrade center
heading further into the western side of the United States.
Coming up to
the much higher ground now.
30, definitely.
Going up pretty bumpy, so not surprised really. Pretty hot down on the ground. I'm at 12,000 feet and it's 10 degrees up there, so probably quite a lot of thermic activity, a bit of wind. But yeah, starting to get a little bit bumpy as we cross over
Coming in 280, so fun on.
the higher ground. It's lovely to see some different terrain. Just got to hold on a bit.
Look at traffic, 6447.
6447, traffic, you're following 12 o'clock, 13 miles, it's an Embraer at 12 o'clock, 6 miles southbound at PA46 at 1000, descending into Santa Fe.
Alright, we're looking for
Just crossing
Number
past
908 Papa, contact upgrade,
Santa Fe.
approach 123.9er.
up at 12,000 feet here, just to get around and past that terrain. So, passing Santa Fe, but more westbound shortly. It was a little bit bumpy.
Number 5 Tango, turn 15 left for your time.
15 left, 5 Tango 10.
3106.
Just been given a 10 degrees right turn to avoid this TFR that's in front of me. Great thing is it's displayed on the MFD screen, it's also displayed on my iPad as well here for the TFR with a fire TFR. So stuff going on there. Keeping myself nicely out of the way of that. Goes up to 12,500 MSL and I'm at 12,000, so that's the reason for me going around it, so that must be
Number 6 Tango, operator contact.
out over there somewhere.
I'll come there, 3021.
Yeah, so good thing about finding IFR is that they're keeping us clear of these TFRs as we fly if needed. So the terrain is changing now, bit by bit.
Maintain VFR.
Gives a beautiful landscape in this part of the States.
Bridge 43, maintain block altitude 16,000 through 17,000. Albuquerque altimeter 3021.
Alright, 16,000 through 17,000. And what was that altimeter again?
Bridge 43, 3021.
On these long flights with about an hour to go, see here's about 56 minutes, and I sort of start looking and prepping and deciding on what things I'm going to do. So just going to come down into the flight plan, scroll it down to the airport, Winslow, tap on there, go into waypoint information, and then the first thing I'm going to do is have a look at the weather. So do it to the METAR there, so variable at 6 knots, 10 statute miles, clear, 27 degrees, and 3023 is the altimeter setting, so that's good. And let's go back on there, a little bit bumpy out here with the terrain around us, but that's okay. So going back into the frequencies here, I'm going to pop up the ASOS, put that into the active COM2. Okay, semi-unicorn frequency, pop that into the standby COM2. They're both there later on, just waiting for the RX to display up here for later on when I can listen to the ASOS. And then when I get there a little bit closer, I'll see what the wind is doing, see what the runways in use from maybe advisories from other aircraft on the ground or in the air there. If we do have a look in the procedure out of interest, we'll see that in fact the only procedure that they have is actually a VOR approach, VOR GPS approach actually for runway 11. So I'm assuming that's probably more to do with their favoured runway will be runway 11. So we'll take a look at it a little bit closer when we pick up some weather and a bit more information. What I'm also going to do, just to have some sort of active VNAV profile in here. You can see down here that the airfield elevation is over 4,900 feet. So I'm just going to go into the flight plan. Sorry for the bumps, it's a bit bumpy out here today. So just going to go into here, tap on the altitude column, go 0 feet above ground level, push enter. That's going to change it to 4941 feet as per the destination. Go OK, and that now goes create, and now create a descent profile based upon 1.7 degrees. What I'm going to do in here is just go to the VNAV profile, have a look at the descent, and change that to the pilot defined one. And I'm just going to go 2.5 on there. Go enter means I have a slightly steeper descent. Go home, flight plan. Scroll down here, so I'll put it into 2.5 degrees. And I can either look on here because I always have this inset down the bottom here, which is really nice to give me my flight plan, active flight plan information, and the vertical navigation information. And there I can see that I'm going to start my descent in about 42 minutes, so I've got a decent amount of time. And when I start that descent based upon my current ground speed, that's going to give me a descent profile of about 800 feet a minute, so 791, which is good. If I didn't have this inset window along here, then I can always have a look here in the flight plan, VNAV, and then I've got here with the profile my active vertical navigation waypoint information as well. So a little bit to go. I'll keep on enjoying the view and get back to you just before the descent.
Automated weather observation 1757 Zulu. Wind variable at 04. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 29 Celsius. Dew point 06 Celsius. Altimeter 3021. Remarks. Density altitude 7,300.
Winslow Lindbergh Regional Airport.
Albuquerque, hello, November 818 Hotel Whiskey has 12000 with a weather at Lindbergh.
Number 818 Hotel Whiskey, Albuquerque Center. Just let me know what time of approach you guys want to do at Winslow.
Yeah, I'll get a bit closer and I'll descend in for the visual approach.
Number 81 Whiskey, I just got a few NOTAMs at Winslow. The Winslow VOR nav aid's unserviceable. Then I got standby on the last two.
2580 is 65, I'm at 210.
Okay, so not far to go now. We've got about 5 minutes to run. Got the ASOS. You saw their density altitude 7,300, 29 degrees centigrade. And I'll be going in, once I go visual with the airport or close by to it, then I'll cancel IFR, go into VFR, and enjoy some of these beautiful scenery. I mean, the landscape around here is just stunning. Right, look at this over here, look, it's just absolutely beautiful.
Center Lear 515 Kilo Sierra.
Such an amazing place to come and fly around here, it's just amazing. So, I'll be descending in shortly, pick up some fuel, and then ready for my next leg, a couple of hours still, down to Montgomery in San Diego. Just started our descent into Winslow, just doing the descent checks, oxygen, altimeter is set. Got 3021 at the moment, which is as per the ASOS. Landing lights are on, fuel quantity is checked. That's all good enough for a go around. Power lever, I've just backed it off to just under 25 inches. Made sure that the fuel flow is just below the blue, and so we're descending. It's a little bit bumpy without cooling down the engine too quickly and also getting too close to the yellow tape. Now we're not doing a rapid descent, so seatbelts are all strapped in. Brakes I'm testing, and keeping that CHT temperatures above 240, and then before landing I'll do that shortly. So I'm descending down to 9,000, pilot's discretion. He just said to let me know when let him know where the airfield's in sight, and then I'll switch over and go into VFR. Still bumpy. See the airport over there in the distance. It's pretty lumpy here, so I don't know how long I can video for, but I've got my GoPro going as well. But yeah, so coming down through 7,500 down to 5,900, I've cancelled my IFR, going in VFR just to join a right base onto runway 29. It's all looking good, fuel pump is on, mixture will come rich shortly, flaps will come on shortly, and autopilot again. As required, I'll disconnect that shortly as well. So, approaching right base for 29 to Winslow. So just turning final for runway 29, all looks good. Disconnecting the autopilot now. I've got flaps 50 so far, just going to go flaps full now. Last part of the checklist, so flaps good, autopilot is off. Landing checks are complete. Speed's good, coming down, looking at the puppies, or the bassies in this case.
Altitude.
That's okay, just an altitude warning for I bugged myself at my circuit altitude, but I've gone down through that now. Winslow traffic, Cirrus A18 Hotel Whiskey is on a 1.5 mile final for runway 29, Winslow. Okay, looking nice. Speed's good. VREF plus 5. A little bit blowy, a little bit choppy, but it's
500.
Okay. 500 feet to go, continuing. Coming up, bringing the aircraft down towards the green donut. Still on those bassies. Everything's checked good. And coming over, crossing the threshold. Closing the throttle, ice at the end. Settling yourself down on the centre line. We'll start slowing down and bring ourselves to vacate here.
Great, so here we are at Winslow in Arizona. Just got marshalled in. The guy's just gone off to go and get the fuel truck. So I'm just going to go in, use the restroom, pick up some fuel, get a top off of fuel, and go and see if I can get a coffee and use the restroom, and then I'll be good to go for my next flight down to San Diego. So a few guys come. Great thing is that they pretty much we pretty much leave them to it. So he's over there going to fuel up the aircraft. I'm going to head into the little FBO here. Just grab a coffee. So we go getting some fuel. Wiseman Aviation in Winslow. It's coming through to the little FBO. Oh, it's nice and cool in here. FBO is always great. Got a good amount of coffee. Let's grab one of these. Pop that in there. Go down. And I don't want a big one. Let's go for a small one. And we'll brew that. Fantastic. Bit of half and half. I'll be well away. Even cookies. Fabulous. Good. It's been about a 3-hour flight, this one, so it's good to stop, have a little bit of a break, and take in the air, and just have a rest for a second while the aircraft gets refueled, and I'm ready for the next 2-hour leg down to Montgomery Field. Very quick stop here, back of the aircraft. We're fully fueled, ready to go. Look at this weather, isn't it amazing? Winslow, Arizona. Great little stop actually. I chose to come here instead of Flagstaff or Sedona because I just knew it was going to be a lot quieter, and I was just going to stop here for a quick splash and dash. So yeah, but what a cool little place to stop into. So let's get going. So before I get going, just checking out the weather at Montgomery, and here you can see it's looking pretty nice. Wind's coming sort of 210 degrees. It's nice weather there. Having a look at the TAF, there's a few bits and pieces going on later on, but nothing really to concern me too much, which is good. And just making sure when I go into the flights, that the flight that I'm about to do, that is sent to the map. So yeah, got it on the map now. That's nice. So basically out of here, Winslow, through Shady, and down into there and into Montgomery. So things are looking green down there, which is nice. So yeah, so can't see too much of trouble. It's pretty hot here now, so I'm just going to get the aircraft powered up and get some air conditioning going.
Pretty warm in here today. Not surprised, really. It's pretty hot outside. So I've got the air conditioning on, and the engine's running, ticking over quite nicely. And so databases, again, like we've done before, they're all good. Acknowledge the limitations. Passenger brief, we've got no passengers. ADS-B, just to check on the ADS-B. Make sure that's all working okay.
Traffic. System test passed.
Okay, that's nice. So I'm going to go next. Fuel on board synced, so that should go to 92 when I select that, which it does. Weight and balance loading, so still the same, me and some bags in the back, and that's looking good. And then here what I'm going to do is I'm going to come onto the for all the fingerprints, go into there. That's pretty there we go, that's a bit better to see that. There you go. So select that, send it to the panel. So that's now gone to the panel. Over here I've got my
Winslow traffic,
connects there.
Malibu 92717.
That's the one I'm going to do, so I'll select that, Shady, JLI to Juliet,
11.
activate that, down to Montgomery. That's good, so across the initialization, go down a bit, take off data, that's all the only thing we need. So I think I'm going to go out again, probably going to go out this time on runway, let's have a look. Yeah, probably 29 or 22. I think I'll go out on. I think I'll go out on 22 actually. That'll probably be a better one for me. So let's go runway 22. Onto here 7499. We need 2571. So I type that in there. That's good. Initialization. All tick green. Accept. Back into my flight plan. Oh, that's looking nice, and if I wanted to I could click the blue over to here, click on charts, and then that'll bring the airport diagram up here for where I am. So I think taxiing out and then going down off of runway 22 would be a better option, because it's in the right direction, especially as my first route out to Shady is 244. Good, so I'll get taxiing and get going. Just had another aircraft on its way in, so we'll communicate on the CTAF with the other aircraft. Departure to the southwest, Winslow traffic. Okay, lights going on. Pitot is automatic on this, which is great. Just going to take all the runway anyway. Malibu is just behind us. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to cross the cross runway here, just for a bit of safety. There's plenty of runway here, it's like 7,000 feet. So turning on. Weather traffic, Cirrus 818 Hotel Whiskey is departing runway 22. Winslow. Okay, all looking good. Fuel pump, flaps, everything's set. Okay, power set. Airspeed's alive. T's and B's are good in the green. 50 knots. Do notice a slight lack of acceleration when it's so hot, so 75 knots. And rotate. Getting airborne. 4,000 foot markers there, so plenty of runway was available. Okay, climbing away. Not doing anything with the flaps at the moment because it's so hot here. But climbing away quite nicely. Fuel dampers come on 200 feet, so I can relax my feet a little bit on the rudders. Okay, I'm above 500 feet above the ground. I've got about 100 knots now, so I'm going to lift the flaps to the up position. Just be aware of the sink. 600 feet. Keep an eye on those.
November 818 Hotel Whiskey, I get your radar contact 8 west of Winslow. Can you maintain terrain obstruction avoidance up to 9,000?
If I can climb to 9,000.
November 818 Hotel Whiskey, Roger. You are cleared to Montgomery Brown via direct Shady as filed. Climb and maintain 12,000. Maintain terrain obstruction avoidance through 9,000. Altimeter is 3018.
Roger, cleared to Mike Yankee Foxtrot via Shady. Flight plan, climb flight level, climb 12,000. And sorry, say again with the terrain.
And 8 Hotel Whiskey, for, maintain terrain obstruction avoidance through 9,000. Climb maintain 12,000.
Roger, and terrain and 9,000, climb 12,000, November 8 Hotel Whiskey. Okay, so he basically wants me to get up above the terrain for 9,000. I think that's what he's asking me to do. So, but anyway, I'm climbing to 12,000. Wants to know whether or not I'll be above the terrain that's in front of me by 9,000. But I will be, because here I can see my altitude select arc for 12,000. It is just before the terrain, so it's a little bit bumpy here. So that's looking good. So 12,000, Shady. Got the squawk, climbing, going to be 9,000 quite easily before the terrain. Nice, all going well. Interesting thing about trying to keep the engine cool This is actually not very useful to slow the plane down. Well, not slow the plane down. One, to slow the plane down, but also to reduce the power. You've got to have that power up at the high power, so I'm nearly at 36 inches. We've got the fuel flow up there in the green, and the plane is climbing, really quite nicely. I'm doing 130, and in fact the engine has cooled down very slightly. It's at 404 now, it was at 410. So if I wanted to, I'm getting a decent rate of climb.
6 November Whiskey,
I could go with flight level change. I could roll the roller here and change that to 135, get a little bit more air flowing over the cylinders and try and cool the engine down a little bit. But it's sort of going okay at the moment. So it's going well. So 135 knots should give a little bit more airflow over the cylinders and cool the engine down a little bit. So if you think, oh, I'll back off the throttle a little bit, say 30 inches, and then adjust the fuel flow, the engine will actually heat up and it won't cool down. It needs that power, it needs that fuel, there you go. It needs that airflow over the cylinders. And there you go, it's coming back now to 402, even though it's 15 degrees centigrade outside and I'm nearly at 10,000 feet.
20.7, 6 more whiskey, have a great day.
That's the beautiful scenery of Sedona Airport, off on its plateau, and the amazing scenery that's around it. Be going in there probably in a few days' time. But it's just beautiful. Sedona's actually a stunning place to go to.
One Romeo Charlie, putting 040 vectors for ILS.
Right turn 040, citation 1 Romeo Charlie.
So doing well, just 20 minutes out of Winslow, passing Sedona. Everything's going nicely.
Number 46349, radar contact.
About an hour and 3/4 to go.
On the airport. Southern number 3019. Next controller does say they're a little bit too busy for, actually disregard. Remain on the screen.
Just off to our right hand side, we've got the river, Colorado River, going up to Lake Havasu. So famous for its London Bridge. So the original London Bridge is at Lake Havasu, and so that's up just off to our right hand side. Got about an hour and 8 minutes to go. Yeah, so enjoying the flight. It's a little bit smoother now than it was earlier on, but it's going well. Aircraft's flying very nicely.
Julian, after Juliet Lima, India. Doing Victor 514, Mission Bay. That is Mike Zulu Bravo. Send her to Montgomery Airport.
Roger, Arthur Julian, the Victor 514 to Mission Bay, Mike Zulu Bravo, and then Montgomery Airfield. November 8, Hotel Whiskey.
Hotel Whiskey, thank you, read back correct.
Altitude restriction at T.
So she gave us a routing change, as you heard there, so let's have a look and see how I can deal with that. So I wrote it down on my iPad here. So we've got Juliet Lima India, which is the Julian VOR, after that the Victor 514. So really simple, where the Julian VOR is, select on there, go load airway. Here's a selection of the airway. She said Victor 514, I can select that one. And then she said Mission Bay. So we can scroll down, MZB, there's Mission Bay, select on that. There's the airways that are going down there, and then go load airway. That will now load that into there, you can confirm that that is Mission Bay. And then after Mission Bay she said to the airport. So there we go, there's the airport. And while I'm there actually, I've got just over an hour to go. I normally wait for an hour to then start doing things as far as preparation is concerned. But let's have a little look while I'm here anyway. So into Montgomery Field, waypoint information, weather, METAR 270 at 6 knots, 10 statute miles, clear below 12,000, 23 degrees, that's quite nice. It's not quite as hot as it is was in a couple of places. 2998 for later on. And yes, that's looking good. And what I already did actually earlier on is I already put in here the ATIS and the ground frequency in COM2 for Montgomery. So with that wind coming in from sort of that direction, we'll just have a quick look at the procedures while we're here as well. Approach ILS 28 right, which is what I'll probably end up, I think we'll do. And what we could do here is we can just load up the approach plate on here. So what we could do is have a look at a preview. And we can go and show on charts, and wherever the blue outline is, that's where it's going to show the chart. So let's go show charts, and there you go, that'll pop up the chart, and here we now have the chart. So I can push on here, bring up the pad, and now I can scroll around the chart and have a look. And what I can see here is MIBI is looks like a good waypoint to put in there, or BACL, looks like the two good waypoints to put in there as far as our initial approach fixes is concerned. And so that's the ILS or localizer for 28 right at Montgomery Gibbs, and we can have a scroll down here. 673 feet is going to be the minimum as well. So I can go back to here, ILS, let's go on to here, let's go BACL, just like we said. So we said BACL, which we can see just up here. Minimas were 673, let's round that up to 680 anyway. So enter runway 28 right. There's the primary frequency, which is for the ILS, and we can see that there, 111.95. This aircraft also has DME in it as well, so we're going to get the DME information, and then I can load that into the system. The chart has now disappeared, but what I can do is move the blue over to here, and then just go into charts. Because it's the only thing I have selected as far as the procedure is concerned, it puts it up on there straight away. And I could use the checklist scroll wheel button here to select between the checklist and the approach plate for later on. Great. So all prepped for later on. I'll have a look and see if there's any changes later when I look and pick up the ATIS, but that's what I'll be expecting. So after she gave us that reroute, I thought I'd have a quick look. So I can see the flight on here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit using the range knob here, but then also push the knob so I can pan, get the little keypad up, go up here, use the keypad like a tablet, scroll myself over here, and have a look and see what she said to do after Julian. And there we go, so we've got Julian, which is there, then down the 514, let's get that out of the way, so 514, down and around the corner,
turning 15 degrees, 3 Charlie Alpha.
towards the Mike Zulu Bravo, and that will then eventually link us in. That goes all the way to the other side of Montgomery, but I believe that they'll probably pick us up and link us into the approach, which I did via MIBI for the ILS for runway 28. So that's just giving us an initial routing first of all, but I'm sure once we get a bit closer that will change. So I loaded it in, and I thought, have a little bit of a look, see if I make sure and understand where they're taking us.
Traffic, 12 o'clock, 10 miles.
They just crossed over the Colorado River back there. Moving ourselves along in California. Not far to go down into Montgomery Field in San Diego. And again, scenery changes. It will change one more time when we get closer to the mountains between me and the coast. Fantastic.
Foxtrot Lima, contact officer, Center 126.
And they said Cirrus 818 Hotel Whiskey, so 12000.
Enter 818 Hotel Whiskey, LA Center, welcome. The thermal altimeter is 2982.
2982, November 8 Hotel Whiskey. Okay, 2982.
LA Center, Southwest 24.
And there's the Salton Sea. Turning over a shady intersection, routing towards Julian into VOR. and I'll route us over some of the hills and over the Salton Sea, which I'm sure is probably very salty.
2 clear direct to Santa Catalina.
I'll try to go for 46 minutes.
Flight level 230.
Yeah, that'd probably be shorter because that 46 minutes maybe includes the approach as well. Let's have a look, just scroll that down. How about 35 minutes? 35 to 40 minutes. Good. Requesting descent
788
down to 10,000, so I'll do that. So I've got 10,000 in the bug. I'm going to come down about 800 feet a minute. Got plenty of space here on my speed, not to worry about backing off the throttle. And I've got no speed constraints, so therefore I'll let that accelerate a little bit down to the 10,000.
November 8 Hotel Whiskey, thanks for the help. Connect SoCal approach on 124.35. Good day.
12435, no problem, mate. Bye-bye.
Southwest 6301, can I tell you center 12?
SoCal, hello, November 818 Hotel Whiskey, just passing 11.6 for 10,000.
7 Romeo Juliet, so maintain VFR at or below 3,800.
Maintain VFR at or below 3,800. 707 Romeo Juliet.
818 Hotel Whiskey, SoCal approach. Roger, advise me of information Sierra at Montgomery.
Yeah, just about to pick that up, I'll advise you, November 8 Hotel Whiskey.
Right, Hotel Whiskey, what approach are you looking for?
The ILS 28, please. 28 right.
Right, Hotel Whiskey, expect vectors to the ILS.
Expect vectors to the ILS, November 8 Hotel Whiskey. Okay, so I'll go in here now and...
Welcome airport information, Tango 2053 Zulu, wind 200 at 8, visibility 10, clear, temperature 24 dew point 15, altimeter 299.6, ILS runway 28 right approaching you, also landing runway 28 left, tower frequency, runway 28 right 125.7, runway 28 left 119.2, runway 28 right rail and surface, please caution for cranes. Advise on contact, you have information, Tango.
Okay, so Tango instead of Sierra, so that's even better. At 818 Hotel Whiskey, I've got a Tango at Montgomery.
Hotel Whiskey, Roger.
Okay, so he's sort of happy. So it's going to be the vectors for the ILS for runway 28 right. So I've got the ILS already loaded in here, and from earlier on when we looked at it.
Running 190.
I've got backhaul and everything here, so as soon as he gives me proper vectors later on, because I'm still routing direct to Cano at the moment, so once he starts giving me vectors, I'll then select that and activate vectors to finals. In the meantime, I'll carry on as I am on my flight plan. Want to get a little bit closer. I'll do a briefing on the approach. So it's starting to be vectored, he's given me a heading of 220, a descent down to 8,700. I've backed off the throttle to just below 25 inches. Make sure that mixture's good, keep those turbo temperatures good. And I'm going to go procedure, and then here going to activate vectors to finals. Now I've got my 30 nautical mile inbound line to the final approach fix, and now I've got the 119.5, the India, Mike Yankee Foxtrot, and the DME is all selected up on the DFD. A little bit of distance to go, probably about 18 miles or so before I get towards the inbound course. That's looking good. Just heard the bing with 200 to go. Coming up, and I'm going to keep the 25 inches of manifold pressure on there just so that it keeps me in good shape and cools the engine down very slowly as well. That's good. I've done the checklist for the descent, just my before landing checklist, a little bit later on as I come to intercept the localizer and go down the glide slope.
01 Tango to maintain VFR at 4,000.
What I can also do on here, just flip over the pane.
VFR at 4,000.
Actually, I don't have to flip over the pane.
You're
already had this in the system, so I can flip that over And I can just check up on here. So the next frequency will be 125.7. So 1257, I'll pop that in there. In readiness. Good. So communications are all set. Approach is loaded, activated. I know what I'm doing. I'm being vectored onto the ILS. They're routing us at the moment towards the final approach track, and then will probably give me another turn to intercept and probably a descent.
Alright, Hotel Whiskey, descend and maintain 6,000.
Descend and maintain 6,000, November 8, Hotel Whiskey.
01 Tango, descend and maintain.
Okay, so 6,000, dial that in there. Vertical speed. Give myself 800 feet a minute. Happy with the 25 inches. And so yeah, so navigation aids. So I've got my 111.95. Confirm up on there. It's identified as well. And then on here, if I wanted to, well, I should do, listen to the Morse code ident for the DME.
8 Hotel Whiskey, descend and maintain 5,500.
Descend maintain 5,500, 8 Hotel Whiskey. Okay, great. So that's the DME, 5,500 dialed in, coming down quite nicely now. That's pretty good. Minimas, I've got 680 on there, 673 you can see down here, so I'm quite happy with that. And then missed approach, climb to 1,100 feet. Left turn, 3,000. On a heading of 270, outbound Mike Zulu Bravo, VOR, and to Carith to hold. There we go, Carith, hold. All that's in the system, and good.
Alright, Hotel Whiskey, turn right heading 240, and descend and maintain 5,000.
Right on the 240, descend and maintain 5,000, November 8, Hotel Whiskey. Okay, right on to 240, descend to 5,000. Okay, 240, 5,000, aircraft turning. I'm all set. Vehicle altitude select arc, showing me 5,000 feet. Just here, so that's looking okay so far. Quite happy. We're way past the terrain now as well, so the terrain is sort of...
Hotel Whiskey, descend and maintain 4,200.
Descend and maintain 4,200, November 8, Hotel Whiskey.
01 Tango, you're 4,200 from Penny, turn heading 250, VFR practice start crew, no separation services provided.
Heading 250, practice start crew, 0.
Dallas 904 Tango, traffic 12 o'clock, 3 miles, turning westbound to Cherokee 3,900.
Negative. Traffic inside Dallas 904 Tango.
01 Tango, crossing Lake Turbulence, traffic 2 miles west, your position eastbound Ember 175.
That's good, all looking nice. Still got my before landing checks, I've got a mixture. I'll do, sorry, boost pump is on. I'll do that down there. Mixture I'll go rich very shortly, and then we'll carry on with the rest of it as we approach inbound track. We've got about 6 or 7 miles to go to that. First going to start backing off the throttle here, just slowing it down a little bit more, just going to come back to 18 inches. Quite happy that the engine has cooled itself down enough, and the 18 inches will start to bleed the speed off very slightly as well. And now I'm quite happy to go mixture all the way to rich.
Alright, Hotel Whiskey, reduce speed to 150 knots.
Okay, just slowing down now to reduce speed 150, November 8, Hotel Whiskey. Okay, there we go, so I anticipated that as well, so that's good, so I'm slowing down as well.
Hotel Whiskey, descend and maintain 3,800.
Descend maintain 3,800, November 8, Hotel Whiskey. Okay, speed slowing down. Just help them out a little bit, just bring that manifold back a little bit more, towards 15 inches. Get that speed back to 150 knots. That's looking nice. See up there, there's Miramar. Just going the distance.
Approach, Skyline 759 Bravo Golf 5000.
And there's Montgomery Field.
Bravo Golf, SoCal approach,
Just over there.
2996.
We're coming in, splitting a right turn,
01 Tango,
and then descending down the RS.
125.7.
Good so far.
SoCal November 627 Delta Yankee, leaving 2000, climbing, good afternoon.
01 Tango, contact approach 125.7.
Contact tower 125.7. Thank you, 01 Tango.
Ready to Hotel Whiskey, turn left heading 190.
Left onto 190, November 8 Hotel Whiskey.
R627 Delta Yankee, SoCal approach, you're ready
Left
to
onto
contact.
190, bit of a zigzag I think here, maybe for a bit of spacing.
Bravo for the Yankee. Approach outpost 2542 is 10,000.
Probably going a bit quick, probably the reason why.
So 2542 SoCal approach, Roger, altimeter is 2996.
96 outpost 2542.
Radio Hotel Whiskey, you're a mile and a half from Nessie, turn right heading 250, maintain 3,800 until Savage Quid approach, runway 28 right.
Right on 250, maintain 3,800 until established, clear to the ILS 28 right, November 8 Hotel Whiskey. Okay, good, so he's 250, clear to the ILS, push the approach button, confirm up here, heading with localizer, approach, autopilot with yaw damper on, vertical speed I'm bringing myself down to 3,800, altitude selected, glide slope is armed, there's a localizer just capturing now, coming down to 3,800.
So 2542, reduce speed to 230 knots, and anchor crossings at or above, at Columbus,
there we go.
27 approach.
Alright, 230 knots now, crossings at or above are approved.
And now I can continue down towards 2,500.
Quarter 2503, descend maintain 5,000.
Maintain 5,000 for 2003.
Splitting that.
Radio Hotel Whiskey, contact Montgomery Tower 125.7.
25.7 November 8 Hotel Whiskey, thanks.
Over 9 Bravo Golf, to the main.
Two Cessnas on final.
Okay, so it's coming down, I'm going to slow myself down a little bit more.
1 mile final, runway 28 right, clear touching.
I'm within my flap speed, I'm going to put one stage of flap down, that will just help and try to bring the aircraft back towards 120 knots. Just coming down to get myself down below the glide path.
Number 3.
So I can intercept that, I can see that on here on the pathways, and I'm coming down quite nicely. Montgomery Tower, November 818 Hotel Whiskey, the sublease ILS 28 right.
Cirrus 818 Hotel Whiskey, Montgomery Tower, continue.
Continue, 8 Hotel Whiskey. Okay, so seems to back up a bit of power there. I think it was a little bit quick, so that's coming down now. I'm backing off the throttle, bringing myself down so I can get myself to intercept that glide path. Go, fantastic, just adjusted it into pitch mode, come down, capturing the glide now. Just before the final approach fix, so that's nice, and that intercepts, and it's going to carry on going down.
Touch and go early offset, please, for driver follow.
That's good.
Check a 301, taking up.
So yeah, it was a little bit high on there, I managed to sort it out. Could go back to 12 inches of manifold pressure, now that I'm on the glide slope.
Would be able to touch and go, 0
Oh, that's right. Check 01, taking runway 28 right, clear touch and go.
Okay, fuel pumps on, mixtures rich, flaps are required. Autopilot is still as required at the moment. And I shall get to the no icing needed. Normal landing. Quite happy with that. So it's going to come through to my after landing checks. That's good, so we're still on good speed, around about 110. It's a little bit bumpy at the moment, but that's going down well. Continuing on the final approach. So brakes on off, undercarriage is down, I always still say that, even though it's fixed. Mixture is rich, fuel pump is on, flaps are set at the moment at 50%. I'm going to go full flap very shortly.
Come through 3 thanks. Continue following the system.
Okay.
Plus 351, follow Cirrus 2, my final port in sight.
Look at 351.
Good, another 2628, runway 28 right to the left, wait, traffic 2 my final.
Line to wait, right, 628.
Cirrus 8 Hotel Whiskey, traffic holding in position.
Roger, 8 Hotel Whiskey. Okay, so there's an aircraft just lining up and holding in position, so I'm just going to start slowing the aircraft down now.
Hotel, Carvey. 8 Tango Hotel, can we make this a full stop? So St. Tango Hotel, Francis. Inside 351. So 351, Roger, follow Cirrus.
All on the 351.
628, runway 2.
Okay, speed's good, about 90 knots. Coming in, bit of our
downwind being the tower.
visual with the aircraft that's on the threshold.
Cirrus 8 Hotel Whiskey, runway 28 right, clear to land.
28 right, clear to land, November 8 Hotel Whiskey.
Cessna 351, number 2, runway 28 right, clear to touch Tango.
2 right, clear touch, go 351.
Cub 03 Hotel, follow Cessna, turning right base, runway 28 right, clear touching on number 3.
Minimums, traffic, 12 o'clock, low, less than 1 mile.
Okay, got one taken off, got one on the cross runway.
Were we clear for full stop?
So St. Tango.
There's my minimums, continuing.
Cub 628, cross and approve. The
Start slowing it down, going towards the
628. Cub 628, report the other Cub inside.
Right speed on the green donut, which is giving me just below 80 knots actually. That's nice. So we've got 3, 6. There we go, that's the right speed now. Coming down a little bit below the puppy, so that's okay.
Will you call my base?
That's St. Tango Hotel, we'll go.
628, negative contact on that Cub.
Cub 628, just starting the slow base turn.
Okay, we're ready.
There we go. Over 28 right numbers. Closing the throttle. A little bit of right rudder.
628, number 3, follow the Cub, runway 28 right, clear touch Tango.
Number 3, twit right, 628.
So St. Tango Hotel, turn base, change runway 28 left, contact tower 100.2.
Slow down here and come off at...
turning on base, changing to 28 left, contact tower. 18, 8 Tango Hotel.
They'll help him out, get off the runway quickly.
Hotel Whiskey, cross runway 28 left and contact ground.
Cross 28 left and contact ground, November 8 Hotel Whiskey.
Okay, so vacated off of here, just having a look. There was no one on 28 left, he said to cross, so I'm going to cross over 28 left. Switch over to the ground frequency. Okay, there's nothing there, coming across.
Montgomery Ground, hello, November 818 Hotel Whiskey is just vacated, crossing 28 left and going to coast.
November 818 Hotel Whiskey, ground taxi, Hotel Golf. Good day.
Taxi, Hotel, then Golf, November 8 Hotel Whiskey.
Okay, good. So that was exciting, a little bit above the ILS, or the local eye of the glide slope there, and then, but got myself sorted. Going to start taxiing in here, Hotel, then Golf, and then take myself up to coast. I think I can see the guys over there just waiting for me to come in, so that's perfect. That's it, so it's going to take me in, park me up in an appropriate place.
Montgomery Ground, Cessna 3386 Echo, add executive with information Tango for eastbound departure.
Cessna 3386 Echo, Montgomery Ground, runway 28 right, taxi via Juliet Hotel Alpha.
Juliet Hotel Alpha to 28 right, 86 Echo.
So here we are at Coast in San Diego. Arrived here nice and safe and sound. A good approach actually, quite a busy approach on the way in, but the aircraft's here nice and safe and sound with some of his other Cirrus friends. So the guys here at Coast are great. They're a Cirrus Platinum authorized training center and maintenance company as well. So arrived here nice and safe and sound. It's been about 11 hours of flying from Knoxville, Tennessee, 2 days across, stopping in Kansas on the way through, which was lovely. And yeah, so the aircraft is now here and ready for its next adventure.